Hey folks, little glimpse into my life on the road. I'm actually on Lake Murray at an Airbnb there. I've been staying with Sammy Pugh and Matt Ball. And, taking a few minutes here in a moment to go over a lesson that I taught the camera a couple days ago on, I think it's called the Congaree River. It goes right through Columbia, South Carolina. Anyhow, this is how I travel. Got tackle, food box, winter jacket, even though I've been in Miami. All of my tackle, motor, and a spare, and camera equipment, and there's even more stuff inside, but I wanted to show you that while we head into the Airbnb here. I'm editing, right? I have my mobile editing station here with the external hard drive and the MacBook Pro, but all that technology doesn't always do as good as a clipboard, some scrap paper, and a Sharpie marker. There's something that I'm going to show you here, and then we're going to go and look at the footage of what I did on the river. And what that maneuver is how to use the motor in conjunction with the paddle to get upstream through some pretty complex combination of current and ledge rocks and rapids, and just how you can keep moving, preferably without getting out of the boat and dragging. That's necessary sometimes, but the skill of navigating your way up, finding the right path. I'm going to show you some critical concepts here with the Sharpie marker. Then we're going to look at the footage from the Congaree River in South Carolina, which Jeff Long from LC Anglers Paddle Sports and I moved up a long way. All right, let's do some drawing. Okay, so the Whitewater term for moving upstream is to attain. Now, in order to attain, or to find a pathway where you make your way upstream, you're obviously going to be, avoiding these big ledge rocks, and you're gonna actually advance from one spot. You're going to move up in one eddy, and you're going to power up, and you're going to get to this position, and you're going to say, which way, this way or this way, am I going to experience enough depth that the motor keeps running, but also avoiding the steepness of a wave curl, that it's not that hard to get up. And I'll show you what that looks like from the side at first. But the concept is that you move up in this eddy, you shoot across to move up to the next one, and are you going here to this one, or are you going here to this one? Or as you move up, maybe this is too shallow, and you move up through here, and you say, that didn't work, let me drop back here. No, this is also too shallow. All of this is no good, too shallow. So you come up and you assess as you go, and you say, all right, well, this is the deeper water. This point that's coming out is rock, and I came up through here, and maybe there's a submerged rock there that I don't want to get part way up and have the motor catch on it and twist me around. And then I'm gonna move laterally this way, and then I can power up through here. So that's the first concept, and it's sort of like, you know, the old, you know, paper and pen mazes where you're like, how do you get from here to there? Except as you're going up, it's you need depth, and you need depth to keep your motor running, but you also need it to not be too steep of a wave to climb. So I'm going to illustrate that one next, but you just move up, you know, move up in the eddy, hop up to the next one, and go in the path that maintains the right depth that your motor is able to operate in. Let's talk about the wave train, or the wave, you know, hill that you have to climb next. So maybe this is oversimplified, but you know, there's going to be obstructions that create the, you know, the little current seams, and then waves. There's usually a wave in between these, you know, two rocks here, in between these two obstructions, where all the current kind of bottlenecks into it, and you have a wave. And in option A, the wave that, you know, comes from this rock that comes way out of the water, maybe in a narrower pinch point, is steeper. And really, in this case, your kayak has to climb up at an angle, you know, even under motor power. It's harder, even with the, you know, with your paddle, when you're trying to climb up the steepness of a wave, in between these, you know, these two chutes. That's the hard part, is getting your kayak up and over that steepness of the wave. So say you look laterally when you come up to a wave like that, and you say, you know, that's a lot of work. If I can get over it, I'm home free. Look laterally for areas, maybe it's a shallower rock, and then there's a way to go around it. You know, as you move up in this maze, in this rock garden, you know, you come up here and you say, well, this is really narrow, and there's a you know, a wave train coming through there, but this is open, so this is the better path. And you get up here and you say, all right, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 options. Really, a fifth is you drop back and come up this way. But you know, you sit in this position, and what you're looking for is the flatness, the flat area, the no wave. You don't want the wave. The wave's great when you come back down through, but it's hard. Actually, the wave is the big wave is exactly what you want when you're coming back down through, because it usually shows depth, but it's hard to climb. It's hard to attain back over. So, anyhow, you move up through these and you say, is it option A, B, C, or D? And you'll get partway up in there and say, oh, I've made a bad decision. And you pull your motor and abort and come back down and then try another way. But what you're looking for, no wave. Let's go watch it. Let's go, you know, watch me make it up through several different, and I'm in South Carolina, so I have to say shoals. Those in Pennsylvania, I say riffles or rapids. You get it. Let's watch it. So we've made it up through quite a bit. I just made it up through here, and there is somewhat of a skill level that you develop using the motor and navigating up through the rapids. It's not easy, and it's a little bit dangerous, because if you stop moving upstream and the current is too much and you start sliding back, you got that motor down, and that could be something that, you know, hanging off the back, you know, that your boat could flip off of, and really it could torque your boat so it goes like this. So It's a little unnerving, but using a paddle and really navigating and looking at where's the deepest water that I can both power through with the motor and also paddle, which gives you the stability. As you paddle, you're creating stability by forcing yourself forward, but also by sort of bracing each time you go. So I'm gonna put this the camera down there. GoPro, start recording, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like to navigate up through this stuff with the Torqeedo and the paddle at the same time. And I'll talk you through what that really looks like. Right now, what I'm looking for is actually not the biggest example of whitewater that I can find. I want to ease up into this and kind of slide sideways across, and I'm doing that. And as I'm approaching each of these, I can see there's a shallow rock there. I got a little bit more current out here, and there's a rock that could trip me up with the motor hitting it and turning. But I got an open lane here in front of me that I'm going to advance forward in this eddy from that rock up there. As I move up, at the last second, I'm going to slide out into stronger current. When I do that, I want to have the paddle in my hand. Let me give it a little bit more speed and really start pulling myself up, because there's going to be a lip that you pull yourself up and over, and I'm in it. I got over it, and now I kind of slow down. I'm still in good current, and I'm looking to the side to see, hey, am I backsliding? I'm not. I'm good. So I made it up that chute. I'm gonna come off the Torqeedo a little bit and just put a couple casts in these little eddies here and there, using the foot control steering. And I'm not totally in the clear though either, but I'm comfortable enough with where I'm at, because I think it's deeper water. I mean, I can see some rocks down there, but they're not close to the surface. They're not something that my motor is going to catch on. I see an eddy over that way, and that, you know, that I want to move to and move up in. And that's most of what you're doing, is that you're trying to look laterally to find, hey, where's the easier path over there? If you just keep going upstream and that's all you ever do, you're not going to find, that's a rock there, that's dangerous. You know, if you keep it just continually saying it's a straight line moving upstream, you're not going to find it. It's sort of like your kayak is moving upstream, the way that a Plinko chip on The Price is Right hits the sweet spot and lands where you want it to. It's a weird analogy. Plinko chip gets the assist of gravity, and I have the assist of this motor. But you know, there are lateral movements in order to find the right path to get to where I need to be. Those lateral movements, your head is always on a swivel, looking for, you know, looking for rocks that the motor might hang up on, and then looking for where's the easier path. And right now, my easier path is off to my right, and it's actually headed towards swifter current, which is fine. It's a rock there. I'm crossing the eddy line. I'm gonna have the paddle in my hand, and I'm gonna lean downstream a little bit to stabilize myself. That's all I needed. Pick up the rod, keep going. You know, it will, you will find that you'll get yourself into some hairy situations, and the most critical thing that you need to do if you say, abort, I'm out, is to be able to reach down, grab that handle on the Torqeedo, get it up, and then just turn around, head back downstream, give up, but rely on your paddling skills. Your paddling skills, the motor can't do it for you. You need paddling skills. You need it in whitewater. But, you know, the more you do that, the more you practice advancing upstream and finding, hey, there's an open spot, I can move this way and then shoot up and then move back over. You know, you're just gonna get better at this upstream navigation with the assist of the electric motor, and you still use your paddle. All right, let's find some fish. That's a good one. If I keep them buttoned, it'll be good. Gotcha. I will say one thing about this advancing upstream with the motor. The inflatables make it so much easier because there's just a next level of primary stability. The boat sits higher on top of the water instead of down in it, and when you cross eddy lines, it doesn't slam you around. It just goes under you because the hull is just not that deep in the water, so you're not pushed around.